Eventually, they're going to have to do something about it. And Japan's debt now is so enormous that there really isn't any practical fix. The only end game that's imaginable is eventual default. And I don't think anyone wants to go down that road. It means too much sacrifice at some point.
Economist Chris Lowe there in New York. Nicole Childers in LA. Is the debt and the deficit, the amount that the government borrows every year, a political issue there? Because when Paul Ryan was Speaker of the House, reducing the amount America borrows was one of his obsessions.
Oh yeah, it absolutely is. And you look at just very quickly, you look at just the Trump numbers. Trump has added more than G.W. Bush did in his 2 full terms. And what we're talking about here is that it's not a systemic deficit. We're not in the middle of a major recession. It all boils down to budgeting and fiscal decision making. And Trump made it very clear, with some of his fiscal policies. You look at the big tax, the big tax cuts, the big tax breaks. You look at government spending over the course of between 2017 onwards to next year is expected to increase by 16%. Part of the spending that we're looking at that will contribute to the deficit, he's already said that he wants money for the border wall. And I think right now, as Chris Lowe hinted at, the Democrats also are very big on spending, very big on safety nets. And that's the other kind of shocking thing. Military spending is up, but the other shocking thing, going back to the safety net, is that generally when the economy is doing good and it's as strong as it is now, you tend to have a narrower deficit because the government isn't having to spend on safety net programs like unemployment.
James Quincy insists that in this environmental
combined, you've got to, starting from the back of the pack, aren't you? Part of the reason people find us is we're the leader. But I think when you look at what the ambition we've set, which is to recover every bottle for every one we sell by 2030, and then to use 50% of them back in our own bottles as food-grade plastic, which is the highest value use of plastics, we already recover 59% of our bottles, and we already use 9% of our bottles back in new bottles. So we've still got some way to go. But what we've proven to ourselves is because plastic bottles can create a circular economy, every one you can collect can be made into a new bottle. We've driven up collection. We've driven up collection in developed economies like parts of Western Europe. We've driven up recovery in places like Mexico and South Africa and Vietnam, and we've got it from low percentages all the way to 70%. So without new innovation, this is a solvable problem, and solvable in a very short space of time. So this absolutely can be done.
You've committed to recycling and collecting 1 bottle for every one that you produce. Are you actually going to produce less plastic yourself?
We're going to produce the bottles, but we're going to be reusing our own bottles, so it will truly be a circular economy. We can find an intersection between